understand the environment better. So our goal is to continue to maintain our property, to develop new programs, and to stay vital and to have the input from the community on what they would like to have here. You know, it's a balance that we have in today's world with all of the phones and tablets that kids can go on, and families have a lot of access to other recreation that they're involved in. We really want to work with people so you understand that you can come out and see this very serene area and become a lot more connected to life than you can on your phone. You can be that much more connected here in the forest.
I think it's incredibly important, and with the education, we definitely want to get the youth involved, but I can tell you, even older kids like myself, learning about the environment, how to protect it and be a part of it can start at any age and continue through the generations. So I cannot thank you enough for allowing me to be a part of this, and you're gonna see me around here volunteering, cleaning up these trails and popping in and out of that education center. So again, thank you so much. And if it's okay, I'm gonna take a few more laps around this beautiful
Sure, enjoy.
town. Thank
We'll love
you.
to have you back.
Great, thanks. Thank you for joining me today while I learned everything Strawberry Hill. Don't forget, your contributions, whether that's volunteering, signing up for classes, or donations, are going to help keep this alive and thriving for generations to come. Nonprofit organizations of Adams County help make our community safe, vibrant, and thriving through compassion.
Welcome to this Community Media special presentation.
Sports fans, welcome to the chat. Corey Smith and I are trying out these new microphones, so hopefully you'll be basked in a beautiful sound as we talk sports, unscripted sports talk in your living room. every Tuesday from 6 until 6:45. This is week number 875.
Slowly but
Bit of a
surely.
milestone of the modern incarnation of the program. We start out hottest seat in sports, shining stars. I want to take the lead on the hottest seat because I only thought of one thing, and then if you think of the same thing, I'll really be on the spot, and you have a helper there.
Yep.
We can always stall, and if you probably prepared. All right, so as I understand it, I only read about it in this morning's paper, bright and early, the NCAA tournament selectors, or was it the NIT? One of them said, I think it's Alabama Southern, oh, you're in. And then he said, oops, we miscalculated, now you're out. Isn't that what, tell me about what happened.
I heard a little bits and pieces of that, not the full gist of the story.
Is it
there.
an NCAA bid?
I think that might have been the NIT.
Well, that's
there,
when I
yeah.
started,
Yeah, that's-
heard myself say it aloud, I thought, well, maybe, any way you cut it, that deserves to be in the hottest seat of sports.
I believe so there, yeah.
But who do you got? Anybody?
Well, I got the basketball, but just in the NBA, I got the Miami Heat. Miami Heat.
They're in a tailspin.
Yes, they're on an 8-game losing streak. They now, they have the last final playoff for the play-in.
The sixth seed, or no, the 10 seed.
The 10 seed
So
there, yeah.
so the Bulls are ahead of Miami now.
Despite this, they still have a 5.5 game cushion to the Raptors in the East. So
And the Celtics or the Sixers are like, what, 6 games behind, 6.5, something like that?
I think they're looking at 2025, 2026.
They're tanking.
It's
Yeah, they beat Dallas the other day
yeah.
to break an 8-game losing streak on the road. And I'm looking at the box score, like, I never heard of him. I mean, there's no Paul George, no Tyrese Maxey, obviously no Embiid. But the guy, Quentin Grimes, they picked up, I think he had 28, so he had a 45-point game earlier, so interesting.
Looking where Miami Heat is at, 29-39, in this 8-game losing streak, even the Raptors, they are on a 2-game losing streak, so that kind of helps them there. But I see Miami.
Who's the 7th seed right now?
So in the play-in round, so
Yeah,
you got
7 versus, no, it's 10 versus 9, and
7
then
versus
the loser of 7 versus, yeah, that's cool.
yeah,
Interesting
9-10
format.
there. So right now the Atlanta Hawks own that.
7th seed?
The 7th seed with the Pistons are in the 6th seed, but they have a 5.5 game cushion. And then the 8th seed is the Orlando Magic. And then there's a tie with the Bulls and the Heat there, 29-39 there. But
So if you lose a 7-8 game, you get one more shot at it. You play the winner of the 9-10 game, and the winner of that plays whatever seed.
yeah. So if you win the 7-8 matchup, then you're the 7th seed, and then that loser will play the winner of the 9-10 matchup there. So, looking at it, it's going to be interesting to see where Miami falls because this tailspin there. So, looking at the teams underneath Miami Heat, you got Toronto Raptors, like I said, 5.5 games back. You got the Nets, they're 6 games back. Sixers 6 games back, and the rest are just
Only 6.
only 6.
Anything
there.
can happen.
Yeah,
It's like, what, 15 games left?
I was just going to say you're in
If
that
they're
teens
going to
there,
go on
yeah.
a roll, they better start pretty soon.
Yeah. So
I'm giving you, I don't have any delusions.
that's my hot seat is
All right, I like it.
Miami Heat.
And, the people say, well, it's the Jimmy Butler trade. He's helped the Warriors. And
Tremendously.
the Heat obviously misses him, but you had to deal the guy. I mean, you can't have the the inmates running the asylum. Shining Stars,
I'll let you.
okay. I'm going with the Mount. They're in. They're in the
Yes.
dance. And if they
Win tomorrow.
beat American, they play Duke.
Yeah.
And I think Cooper Flagg should be healthy. So, and I'm always putting the Joker in there. He's something, that guy.
I'm going to go with, sticking with the NBA, I'm going to go with Indiana Pacers.
You knew they were underperforming for most of the season,
Mm-hmm.
and, with Harold Burton and Coach Carlisle, right? He's still their coach, isn't
Yep.
he? Rick Carlisle. I mean, he's a good coach.
Well, I mean, what happened last Tuesday with the 4-point score, they had like a wide receiver set on the inbound. Halliburton gets the ball and just, gets fouled, gets the basket, game's tied, gets the free throw. Minnesota wasn't able to get down the court and tie it. Actually, that was let me see here. That was actually Milwaukee. So they beat Milwaukee on Tuesday, and then last night they had an overtime win with Obi Toppin, with the three with 2 seconds left to beat the Minnesota Timberwolves. So just the week of the comeback with the Pacers was just unbelievable there. So that's my my shining star. And,
It's not really a perfect segue here, but
oh yeah, that's
should UNC have gotten in the tournament? And isn't their athletic director or whatever the head of the selection committee?
yes.
And they claim that he didn't vote, but some people are saying, well, I mean, was there a conflict of interest there for him, even his team, even to be? I don't know.
yeah.
How do you I guess these are all people that are from different schools, so it's got to come up quite often. But what do you think? Did they play it straight?
I don't think they should have been in the tournament. I think
What was this, a quad one or whatever? What exactly does that mean? They were
quad-
1 in 12, quad one?
Yep. Yeah. So their only quad one win was against UCLA.
What's quad one? Is that the
basically
top
your
percentile of teams, the top?
your top 10, your top echelon teams, and you have a quad two there.
What is quad two?
Basically, what that means is just how that other team is playing. With
Well,
their
who
metrics.
decides what quad they're in?
Mostly just metrics of just how they fall with how they are ranked
Yeah.
with offensive stats and all that there. So
Yeah.
that's where they came up with the quad one win there.
Well, obviously, 1 in 12, you wouldn't think that would, if that was such an important criterion, you wouldn't think that person would get in.
And when I
That
looked
team.
at it, I thought West Virginia was going to make it, or other teams on that bubble. I looked at a few other teams that had a better resume in the grand scheme of things that should have been over, with North Carolina. And the whole thing with the chairman of the committee.
He did
As-
disqualify himself.
Yeah.
But they were the last team in, kind of thing?
Yep, the very last at-large team to make it. So it's definitely head-scratching when you see that
What,
there.
four ACC teams in the tournament?
Yep.
Louisville got in, obviously Duke, Clemson, and Carolina.
Yep.
Yeah. But 14 SEC teams?
Oh, the 16.
Are they that good? Texas, what about Texas?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting there with, how,
What was their record and their quad one record?
well, I don't have their quad one,
Okay.
records there, but the teams in the SEC, they had, 20 wins, so they were right up there. So,
Who do they play?
Texas-wise, let's see here. Let me get
I
to.
know they play each other, but
Mm-hmm.
that seems ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm sure everybody's going to be watching to see what the conference-wide record is.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Texas, they were one of the, they were 6-12 in conference play, and they're 19-15
Overall,
overall there. But looking at their wins, let me see here.
so they had quality wins, as they used to call them?
They have some of the quality wins there. They have a win against Kentucky.
Meh.
That's a win against A&M with how everybody was just kind of in the middle stages of the SEC. Everybody was kind of being up on each other there,
Yeah.
but it's you're kind of that was a fringe team as well. You're looking at that there.
Boise State was a fringe team, they didn't get in either.
So,
So they're probably agreeing with, yeah, North Carolina had an unfair advantage, blah, blah, blah.
the two teams that did not make the tournament in the SEC was LSU. They were 14 and 18, and South Carolina that was 12 and 20. So,
Well, you got St. Francis with a losing record, and the teams that qualified for, I read this today, I don't know this, but teams that qualified with losing records in the history of the NCAA tournament, they're 0 and 18. So it's only happened 18 times, and it's when somebody wins the conference tournament.
the
Upset.
mid-majors there, yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of goes on that run. If St. Francis wins tonight, they'll be 17 and 17.
They're in the NEC, correct?
Yes.
Which the Mount used to be in, but now the Mount's in the MEAA? or
Yes,
something like
it's
that?
like the MAC, but they have another A. So it's like,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's going to be, interesting to see how the games shape up there. And I was kind of going back and forth when you look at the first four and you have a 16 versus 16.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of good for those schools that kind of play on the first four because
Yeah, why do they call it the first four? Because there are actually 8 teams. The first four.
First four
to
games.
qualify, the first 4 games, okay.
yeah, so I kind of look at for
And it's traditionally in Dayton, and I went
Yep.
there however many years ago, at least 10 years ago when the Mount was playing, and very cool. The arena outside looks like a hangar because the Wright brothers are from Dayton. I think I talked about it before, so really cool. Okay, so yeah, the first 4 teams to get in, American and the Mount, they've apparently played each other 70-some times over the years.
Yep.
So these teams know each other well. Did I read that American has like a 6'9" guy who shoots the 3? Something like that. I might have the teams wrong. I was reading this, like I said, early. Baseball, did you watch the Cubs and the Dodgers at 5 a.m. this morning?
Well, I think
6
it's
a.m.?
6 a.m. I got up at 7, so I saw like the 4th inning. So I saw some of the back and forth between the Dodgers and the Cubs there. But from
3-1, Dodgers win.
4-1.
Oh, it was 4, okay, yeah, they scored. I think I turned it on in the 8th, it was 3-1, and so the Dodgers scored then in the bottom of the 8th and
Or the
finished
top
it out.
top of the ninth, they scored to make it 4-1.
Oh,
and
the Cubs were the home team?
the Cubs are their home team there, so
Okay.
you're not taking them.
But the Dodgers had more Japanese players. That wasn't the criteria,
Yeah,
though.
when the schedule came out, Roki Osaki, was not signed with a team there. So, but it's going to be interesting tomorrow. Rookie's going to be pitching his major league debut.
Yeah, I was just I saw it in the paper, what's on, I was like, the game's on. So I just flipped it on just out of curiosity. Anything, were the fans well behaved? I mean,
They were, civil. I mean, nothing too crazy.
do they have chanting for one team or the other or anything like that?
I think they were kind of more just, sitting
Taking
back
it
and
all
just
in.
taking it all in. And, if they were rooting for Seiya Suzuki or if they were rooting for Shota Iganama, or I think they were
Iganama
just...
did okay. I mean, he was the losing pitcher, but
I don't think he was... I think he got slated with a no decision
okay.
there.
How many- yeah.
He had 4 walks. He had a couple strikeouts there. I think the command was not there. So that's what I'll chalk up there for that. I think the winning pitcher was Yadamada.
I saw that. So who's going tomorrow?
Tomorrow is
And then they come back and they have like a
Have a
week
cou-
off or something,
a few spring training games because next Thursday is the
opening day.
opening day for everybody.
Wow.
So, yeah, tomorrow on the bump is Justin Steele for the Cubs, and Roki is going to be the starting pitcher for the Dodgers there. So, first pitch is at 6:10 on FS1. So,
Set your alarm clocks.
yes. So, I think it will probably be a split. I'll go with the Cubs win tomorrow, and it'll be a 1-1. with the 2-game series. But this does take home games from the Cubs. So the Cubs, instead of having 81 home games, they will have 79 home games. So,
But they're the home team in Japan.
home team in Japan. So that's their.
That's worth.
Yes.
So they better hope they win tomorrow or be like, oh, we were the home team twice and got
Yeah.
nothing to show for it. Any team, I mean, I don't really follow spring training that closely. I know the Phillies played the Pirates today. I have no idea how it ended up. I just had too much going on. I couldn't just watch them on TV. Phillies had a terrible start. Now they have, I think, a winning record. But obviously the Dodgers are the team to beat. They seem to be invincible. The 6-man rotation. Obviously, I don't know, their bullpen must be good. I can't tell you who's in their bullpen.
Tanner Scott got the save today there. So
Former Nat, wasn't he?
former Nat, former Marlin, all
yeah.
over the place there. So, they're going to be the team to beat. Just the weapons that they got. And
What team do you see being maybe a dark horse or most improved or a team that's not going to, how about the A's under that category?
I like the A's improving. I see them.
They got some scary guys. I know the Phillies played him, that guy Rooker, is that his name?
Yep.
He smashes the ball.
They signed him to an extension there.
And the kid who throws 100 miles an hour?
Mason Miller.
Yeah.
He's still going to be closing. Now they're going to be playing at a minor league ballpark in Sacramento there. So see how that.
Probably sell out every night, 20, hey, what they used, their average attendance was what, less than 15,000 in Oakland Coliseum. You have rodents running around. I mean, this will be, I think, a great thing. And then they go to Vegas.
in a few years or
That's the
whenever.
plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So looking at a team that I would say missed the playoffs last year that could make the playoffs or make some more noise. I've been looking at say the Red Sox. You look at the Red Sox. They got Crochet and Walker Buehler. I think that was some good additions for that bullpen, and then, or not the bullpen, but the starting rotation, and then getting Alex Bregman, in that lineup.
Do they have any
there.
closer, are they closer to resolving where
I think, yeah.
Evers is going to play?
I think I saw a report saying that he's fine, being a DH or,
Who,
playing-
Devers?
Devers. So I think
Okay.
that.
Well, he was saying, I'm the third baseman, kind of,
I think everything was going to mend itself out there. So
yeah. I'm sorry, Raphael, they're paying you a lot of money.
boatload there.
Yeah, and this guy Bregman is a Gold Glove third baseman. No offense, but you're not. So, and apparently they have somebody slick fielder to put in at second. I don't know who that would be, but
So there,
I like that.
there's rooms with that there. The team in the National League, I would say is maybe the Cubs. Even though they lost today, it's a 162 game
Yeah.
season there, but they are in a winnable division. I think with the trade with the Astros of getting Kyle Tucker, I think that's going to play dividends with him being in the middle of the lineup. Batting 3 or 4 in the lineup. I think that
He
will.
can match too.
The other.
What about the Reds with Tito back as the manager?
Yeah, I think that's an underrated transaction that happened over the off season with having Tito Francona coming back. It just says
Great to
that
see him back in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he has a nice run with the Reds. He's a legitimate argument that he's a Hall of Fame manager.
I think already a Hall of Fame manager. What he has done with
The Red Sox, Cleveland.
Cleveland,
Phillies, not so much.
Yeah.
On Scott Rowland T-shirt day, he didn't play Scott Rowland. I'm
do
bitter
that.
about that. You can tell,
can't
right?
do that.
No, you can't do that.
I think of what
should let it
he
go.
has done over the 20 years with the Red Sox. At the time, it was the Indians, managing those clubs there. I think that's a shoe-in, and I'm excited to see what he does with the Reds because
Yeah.
with that group of guys, it's a young squad. You have Hunter Green there that should be almost like an ace caliber pitcher this year. So see what happens with
How
them.
old is he? 25, maybe?
25, 26 there. So he's in that peak there where,
And
let
this
him go.
Ali De La Cruz,
Ellie De La Cruz there,
It
so
looks like he could, I mean,
he could have like 80
now
stolen
we're in a
bases.
division, so, Cruz O'Neill, he's not a shortstop anymore for the Pirates?
From what I heard, he's going to be like outfielder.
Outfielder.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
you got O'Neill, Cruz. you know,
O'Neill Cruz, not Cruz
O'Neill, yeah.
Yeah, I knew, yeah.
We talked about this last week with the guys with Brady and Aiden. Aiden was saying about the Pirates. What I was disappointed was how they didn't get other pieces. They have a great rotation with Mitch Keller and Jared Jones and Paul Skeens there, but I felt like just having another bat, McCutcheon's, in the
Leadoff
12
batter? You're kidding me.
towards the end of his career, I just felt like they could have had other pieces around that kind of contend for that division. Whether they make a trade later in the season, that could happen, but
Well, yeah, I mean, their pitching can, I mean, they could be a surprise team too.
Yeah.
So like you said, that's kind of been a mediocre division, but maybe somebody can emerge.
I would say that division's almost like a winnable division. I say both the Central, NL Central and AL Central is kind of up for grabs. No one's really kind of running
The
away.
Tigers have really elevated their game, and maybe A.J. Hinch is standing after the whole Astros sign stealing
And kind of
scandal.
moving away from there. So
Yeah. I'm not ready to put him in the Hall of Fame by any means. I think that's a black mark when you
what he
cheat.
does with the Tigers, if you,
Yeah, right. I mean, hey, that'll get you a good payday, but it might not get you in the Hall of Fame.
Now, what teams are you kind of eyeing that could make a splash for say?
No, let's go through the divisions. Okay. How about, I mean, they obviously went a long way last year. The Mets, I mean, the Mets made all these moves. They spent a gazillion dollars. Have they done enough to take them over the top? I guess we'll find out, starting next Thursday.
I think when you look at that division and NL East, I think it's going to be between the Phillies, the Mets, and the Braves. I think it's
Yeah,
going
I
to be
mean,
those
almost
three.
everyone would agree with that.
And I think the Nats are a year away. I think they're getting the pieces. I think they're almost like a 75, maybe 80 win team, but not
Definitely getting better.
enough to be in the playoff picture there. But they're improving. They're going to be a scrappy bunch. But I'm curious to see what the Mets are like. With having Juan Soto for, like you said, a gazillion dollars.
Yeah.
Does
and
that
they saved Pete Alfonso, the polar bear. He's
Pete Alonso there? Yeah.
Alonso, thank you. Polar bear. So, I mean, it looked like he was going to sign somewhere else, and I mean, that was a good re-signing by them, for sure.
I believe 1 year. So that's going to be.
Well, they're all in for this year, so I agree. Three-team race. All right, so the Marlins, yeah, they're not going to do, they probably are going to end up last. So
Trading some of their pieces and kind
Yeah.
of that rebuilding, retooling of what they've been doing for the last number of years. So
So when we talked to NL Central, we didn't even mention the Cardinal Way. That franchise seems down a little bit
yeah,
compared to what they're used to.
yeah, I would agree with that there. And just with the Cardinals itself there, they didn't make any splashy moves. They just kind of stayed status quo, and they just kept.
Maybe they have a decent farm system. They're hoping for teams to
They have a couple guys down there. They have
players to get better. Yeah.
a top prospect picture that could be coming up later on, that Quinn Matthews that might be coming up maybe in May or June there, but that's their big
Yeah.
name there. But looking at the rotation and such there, I was kind of surprised that they didn't go out and re-sign or get a top echelon picture there. So that's out there.
Well, there's a good reason we didn't mention them, because they're
They didn't
probably
yeah.
not going to be a contender. Out west, everybody's trying to catch the Dodgers. The Padres, the last couple of years, have been the closest to them. The Giants, hot start, and then they seem to fade. And the Snakes, they made the World Series a couple of years ago. Talk about those teams, what you see out there.
You look at Arizona, with them picking up Corbin Burns. I think that was a good signing.
Yeah.
as an O's
Especially as
fan,
an O's fan, you're like,
I would've
a
liked
bad
to-
signing for you, but yeah.
I would like to see him stay in Baltimore there.
Sure.
But with that, I think Arizona has a good amount of pieces there where.
They traded Christian Walker. They must have an idea of who's going to play first base for him.
Yeah, I'm getting their depth.
Patel Marte, I mean, that guy turned out to be a real stud. I mean, he's really come on like one of the most improved players in the major leagues.
Yeah, at first base, they're going to have Josh Naylor, that was with the Guardians.
Yeah.
He's going to be at first base. But,
RBI guy, surprisingly nimble at first base, even though he doesn't look like he would be. Mm-hmm. But
I mean, with their rotation, they got Corbin Burns, Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, at the top three there, and then you go with Eduardo Rodriguez and then Brandon Flatt.
Merrill Kelly, really, he did well against the Phillies. Then he had some, what was the first name you mentioned?
Zach Gallen,
Oh, no, not him. He's good too. But there was a third name.
Eduardo Rodriguez, and then
all right.
Brandon Flatt.
Okay, yeah, that's the guy that pitched
That
well
was
against the
the one,
Phillies.
yeah.
So
He had a
he came out of nowhere and
He had
shut
an
the
okay
Phillies
season
down.
last year, but
Yeah.
when you have those two right there with Corbin Burns and Zach Gallen, this is his walk year, and you have one of those two pictures. That's two aces I look at. So, I like the Snakes. I can see them contending for the first wild card spot, but I think that division is going to be the Dodgers.
Freddie Freeman didn't start the opener. Any health concerns with him? MVP of the World Series. am I
That
right?
I'm not too sure. I know Mookie Betts didn't play because of an illness there.
Yeah. Well, okay, so what about the Giants? What did they do to make themselves better? What do you see from them?
Well, with the Giants, let me see here. Let me get their depth chart here.
And the Padres, you can talk about them too. I mean, they got a lot of talent. Tatis, Manny Machado's still a
Yep.
Padre.
With the Giants, they're a little under the radar signing. They got Justin Verlander. How
262 major leagues. He might be, if he could, that's a long shot. Probably the Vegas odds of him getting to 300
he's going to need
Long
about
odds.
3 years or something like that. There
at least.
Yeah.
I mean,
so-
if he gets 3 years with 15 wins, he's still 17 short. You know? So I don't know. You have to be Tom Brady-esque and just pitch until his mid 40s.
I mean, with the Giants, their rotation is, kind of older, but they have some younger guys there with Jordan Hicks, Hayden Birdsong. Yeah, that's quite the last name, Birdsong.
Yeah.
But,
Want
Logan
to
Webb.
warble.
But Logan Webb is going to be the bulldog that's going to eat up the innings. Verlander being that two, you got Verlander and Robbie Ray that has that injury history. Can they
Ray, if he's had some good years.
can they withstand and
For
get
who
that,
though? Was he with Tampa Bay?
with the Giants there?
He was with the Giants. Okay.
And then their off-season transaction was Matt Chapman. I like that there. So see what happens down the road.
Yeah, people who know about baseball know how good that guy is defensively, offensively. So yeah, he could be a difference maker.
And then, the closing out with the Padres, they have Dylan Cease. It looks like they're going to trade Dylan Cease. They have him. They have, Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado, other pieces around. I think they're going to contend with the Arizona. I can see that division having 3 teams in the playoffs. Could even have 4.
Yeah.
Whether the Giants are right up there, but I think the AL Central will probably have 1 team. If the West has 2, then the East has 1. So I think it's just going to go back and forth between the divisions there.
What about Mike Trout's Angels? They have any chance of getting better?
I think with Mike Trout, I don't see the Angels having a playoff in the picture there. But for Trout itself, it would be nice just to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Just stay healthy and just play. I don't know, 130 games. I mean, that would be.
He's probably in the Hall of Fame now with his career, but he could certainly has 4 or 5 more solid years. Really get up the statistical ladder.
Kind of move up the
He's
rankings there.
He's in right field now, not center.
Yep, they're moving him from center to the right. So that
Little less wear and tear.
on the feet there. So I would just like to see, Mike Trout, whether it's not what he was in the last decade, but at least stay healthy and then just be, can he hit 30 home runs or, something like that there? So
Hit
that would be
300.
nice.
Hey, we have a caller, don't we?
think
Welcome
we
to
do,
Sports
yeah.
Chat. Hello. Who could it be? Thank you for your patience. Is that your name?
Yeah,
What school do you go to?
Lauren.
What?
I couldn't catch that.
All right. How old are you? How did you know the number for community media? Do you have it on speed dial?
Yeah.
All right.
I guess is there anything like a toll call anymore? There are
I don't
pay
think
calls?
so, no.
I think in their plan, you just pay a lot of money, period, so.
Yeah, I just kind of,
So your parents, they won't find out that you've been using your phone or their phone to call live TV. Would that upset them? Well, you don't want to disappoint your parents, do you?
so what talking points do you want to put on the table for tonight?
Did you watch Sesame Street today? Okay. Well, like Corey says, is there a purpose to your call or just general entertainment?
I just was telling you.
Could you,
Hey, Corey, how you doing?
I'm
Wait a
doing
minute.
good. Whoa.
whoa. Your voice changed awful fast.
So what's on the docket for tonight?
Oh, let's tell you something. Let's go to the results from Lincoln Speedway.
Okay, how'd local favorite Danny Dietrich do?
Second place. Let's go nothing order today.
Okay, you're gonna start with second place?
Number 2 is Danny Dietrich.
All right, I'm writing this down. Go ahead.
And I just want to tell you, starting this Friday, and 3 more days, is the grand opening of Williams Grove Speedway for the 2025 season.
Will you be there?
I'll be there.
Signing autographs?
He'll be there for 2 somewhere.
Okay, bring a pen. So did you bag the results or are you still gonna fill us in on Lincoln Speedway? So Williams Grove Friday night, is that right?
Yep.
How many fans usually go? Thousands? Or hundreds?
Thousands and thousands and thousands of people.
Okay. Well, go ahead. Number 2, Danny Dietrich. What number do you want to give next?
Number 4,
4?
Raymer, old man Raymer.
All right.
Number 3, Troy Woggeman.
Did you get that?
Troy Wagaman.
Okay. I was close, but yeah. All right. So that leaves 2 numbers left.
2 numbers left. What number do you like?
Either 1 or 5, whatever you want to do. I guess you should call 1 or 5 because then it would be in its, go ahead. Whatever you want. It's your call.
Number 5,
All right.
Aaron. And we call him Aaron.
That's it? You only use one name? Like Cher?
Aaron, yeah.
Okay.
I do not know his second name.
All right.
We're just going to call him Aaron.
All right. Is that like E? Go ahead.
And number 1, it's Troy, Chase Dietz.
Jake
Dietz. I think he said Dietz.
Chase Dietz.
Jake
It's number 1,
Beach?
Chase
Chase.
Dietz.
Chase
Yeah.
Dietz. Okay, I think we got it now. All right. Well, very useful information. It might come in handy in trivia later tonight. Corey's
It could.
you're our only panelist tonight, so a lot of high expectations for you. Don't be nervous.
It's a lot on the shoulder there, but I think I
I
can
know,
pave the way.
you're capable. So, yeah, yes.
How's your week?
How's my week? Oh, very interesting. I was singing last night at O'Rourke's. Huh? There goes your voice again.
How was the singing?
Good, good. Great crowd. Beautiful crowd. They sang along, and the Antlers did wonderfully. Outstanding work. Big crowd at O'Rourke's. We had 2 other gigs. Big Live Legion, wonderful, and Mansion House. Well done. So yeah.
What's your song of choice? I mean, what were you?
We
know,
do
for the
Irish
St. Patty's
songs.
Day there,
We
yeah.
do our, you know, I learned Fields of Athenry, that was new, but I mean, they're great songs. Brennan on the Moor, Jug of Punch, Roddy McCorley, on and on and on. So we played 55 songs, 4 sets, never played the same song twice. So it was good show. Yeah, go ahead. What?
What is that? I
Where is it at? Where's it at?
Yeah,
Where's what at?
you're singing.
Oh, you want me to sing right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and round the mountainside. That's all I'm doing. Because I don't have the words in front of me. But you get the idea. Right?
I like it.
Corey, how about you? What's your favorite song of all time?
You got me on the spot there, but I don't really have a favorite. I just, whatever I'm in the mood for.
I'd have
so-
to go with Inagata Davida. You know what that is? You ever hear of it?
No,
It's about 14 minutes, something like that. So
we don't have enough time,
I'd like to sing it in its entirety, if I may.
Yeah.
Inagata Davida, baby. Don't you know that I love you? No, we only have 7 minutes left. I can't undertake it.
Yes.
A lot of instrumental too. So
So my name for trivia tonight will be like racetracks.
Okay.
Maybe like Daytona 500, or it could be like dirt track racing. Names.
Okay. I will be on the edge of my seat waiting for that.
it should be easy to figure out who you
Yes.
are. So we'll call you out. We'll give you a shout out.
Yeah.
And hopefully, I mean, didn't you start out in first place in the last couple weeks, a couple times?
I think it just kind of
did.
ascends down.
And then you level off. But yeah, well, countdown, 21 minutes.
Hey, Corey.
Yes.
The trivia.
What happened to you last week? I finished in front of you last week.
Well, everybody finished.
Technical problems.
Yeah. Well, I had to restart and this and that there, but I had 501 points there for technical issues. I did okay. I'll see what happens tonight there.
I wonder what the lowest total anyone's ever won with. We don't have that kind of data, but it'd be interesting.
I'm guessing probably maybe 800.
You'd have to go through all. Do we have them all on tape?
It is, but that'll be a lot of
A lot of
archival.
work. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not doing it.
No, I'm going to pass on that there. Any other tidbits there, Robert, that you want to address? Or we haven't heard from Carl in a while, so I'm not sure if he's... Yeah.
Hey, I just thought of something. Hottest scene in sports. How about the Villanova coach? He's out.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what he's been up to.
What, the Villanova coach or Carl?
I saw him.
I'd like to know what Carl's been up to.
I saw him a week or so ago. He was on Stevens Street in Gettysburg, and
Okay.
he works at the college. So, So Robert, you're gonna be either a name connected to a dirt track or racing in general.
Yep.
How do you come up with this stuff? Do you lie in bed at night or it's just spontaneous?
I think it just kind of hits
Pops
him.
into his head.
Boom.
Okay. All right, well, listen,
Hey, Mr. Cook?
yeah, sure.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Next week, I'm gonna give you a question of your own next week.
Well, next
Question?
Yeah.
A trivia question?
I'm gonna give you a trivia question for next week.
And if I get it right,
That you did not know about.
if I don't get it right, then maybe I'll learn something. If I get it right, it means I already knew it.
Yeah.
So that's how you have to treat trivia, a chance to learn as we play the game together and grow in our knowledge and wisdom. It's exciting.
As soon as I find that question for that day, I'm gonna give you a call next week then to you.
Sounds good. We'll try to identify you during the competition and give you a proper shout out, all right?
But then you're gonna get a clue of what it is. You're gonna have your choices of A, B, or C, or D.
Okay.
Of each one of these.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you next week
All right.
what the trivia question is.
We can hardly wait. So, well, listen, good luck. Maybe tonight will be a breakthrough for you. And we hope to hear from you again soon. Thanks, Robert.
Okay.
All right.
Later.
All right, say hello to, or say goodbye to the youngster, too. Mm-hmm. He hung up.
Yeah. So
He's like an Irish goodbye on the phone. When he's out, he's out. He's gone.
so with a few minutes left, we can do predictions for the tournament.
I was
that's
going to ask
starting.
you,
Yeah.
do you do a bracket?
I do one brag. I know.
Is that considered illegal gambling? I guess technically it is.
Oh, I mean,
I
with
hope the FCC's, I don't think you have to worry.
I think we're fine. This
That's small potatoes, you know.
Day and age
An office
now.
bracket, which is it online, they do it, or?
yeah, I do a couple office brackets here and there,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah. So I fill out one. I'll be in different pools there, but it's the same bracket itself there. But I'm going to go with St. John's to win the whole thing. It's bold there.
How many national championships does Patino already have? So you've one at Kentucky and one at Louisville?
I think so, yeah.
So that'd be like three at three different schools? That would
Mm-hmm.
be quite an accomplishment.
Well, we got a rapid fire. It's you got a minute.
The Johnnies are tough. Will we have another caller?
And we're going to slide this
Yeah,
right
welcome,
under. We
welcome to
got
Sports Chat. Hello.
It's good to be back here on HCTV.
Well, Carl, you must have heard Robert calling your name, and thanks so much.
I didn't think I was gonna make it. I'm looking at the time. I just got in maybe like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Picked it up and lo and behold, Robert's one. I looked at the clock and I'm thinking, and then I heard Corey over there say, we haven't heard Carl for a while. I've been just booked and I've been working, you know.
I know. Well, we forgive you. So,
How about my family school, Louisville? Very impressive this year, gentlemen.
well, they gave Duke a good run, didn't they? In the ACC tournament? Close game?
Who's gonna beat Duke? I knew that Louisville didn't have enough in the tank to beat Duke.
Yeah.
But they kept it close.
Yeah,
and
right.
what really agitates me, Corey, they got them an 8 seed and Clemson a 5, and they beat Clemson twice.
well, it's just not
Clemson
just
beat Duke.
it's not just about you beat them twice. It's just the whole resume because you're going up against other teams there. Kind of quickly, I'm going back and forth between the Louisville game and the Creighton game. That matchup itself there, I'm
Why should
leaning.
they be punished, Corey?
Well,
Championship game, and Pat Kelsey's not too happy. He thought that they were going to get a better seed. Now, if they win that, which that's not guaranteed, they got to play Auburn for crying out loud.
You're going up against other teams' resumes as well there. Yes, they went to the ACC title game. You have the SEC that is loaded with other teams out there. With Louisville being slated at 8, I felt like that was justified, maybe at 7. I felt like there's other teams better than them. I'm kind of going with Creighton to beat Louisville with a 3-point win there.
Wow, what do you see in Louisville? They finished 18-2. The last 2 years, they were 12-52. Okay, they've had a wonderful season, 27 wins. 18-2. It's not their fault that
Yeah.
the ACC's down. It's just the way it played out, and they did what they had to do. They were the second best team in the ACC.
Yeah, I just felt like there's others out there, but it would be interesting. But that's where they got seated. I think that was okay. I think that was where I kind of was thinking 8 or 7 there, but we'll.
They lost their 2 starters at the beginning of the season. 2 starters that were supposed to be very good, and one got hurt like the second game, and the other got hurt the 4th game when they were playing in the Bahamas against Oklahoma for the championship back in December. And they've come a long way. Nobody thought that they would come this far. They definitely miss those 2. And against Duke, they didn't have their top 3-point shooter, which he's going to be back now. Renee Smith, the Australian, he did not play in the Duke game, but they could have used him. Not saying that they could have beat Duke, but it would have been better than an 11-point loss. It might have been like a 4 or 5-point loss. Louisville was winning at halftime, Corey.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, they just didn't have enough strength. The big center there for Duke, that was crashing the boards. Louisville don't have a huge guy like that. And, that was kind of a mismatch.
Yeah, he might be player of the year, Cooper Flagg. I mean, he's an amazing player.
Yeah.
Oh, Moo Arch or whatever. I mean, he's a freshman. The guy's a man. He's a fully grown man.
Mm-hmm.
They had no answer. They didn't have a big guy like that, so advantage Duke.
Yeah.
But I thought Louisville played a wonderful game. I thought they had a great season. And I feel kind of like that they've been kind of like shunned. I thought that they deserved better than an 8 seed. At least a 6 seed.
Yeah, how'd Auburn?
And now they got to,
Yeah.
if they beat Creighton, and that's not guaranteed, they got to beat Auburn.
Well, how'd Auburn get a top overall seed? They lost 3 times in the last 2 weeks.
Well, just like I said,
Duke beat 'em.
yeah.
I mean, I've had people tell me that Louisville, if they beat Creighton, they got a shot at Auburn. Because Auburn's kind of sliding a little.
Yeah.
And Louisville's got a chip on their shoulder.
Well,
Well, here's the question. What's the lowest seed to ever win the NCAA? I don't know the answer, but it's something we could research.
I think like maybe a 9 or something like that
Okay.
there, but maybe I don't think a double digit there, but we shall see there.
And Corey, I was talking to my friend last week, and he checked on ESPN and he has, as of right now, Louisville has like a top 5 class coming in, which is kind of good. I think they're out there now. So I think it's from here on out. Pat Kelsey's a great coach. He was a winner at Charleston, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Charleston.
Sure. Carolina, South
He brought a
Carolina.
couple guys with him. He brought like 3 guys with him.
Yeah. Nice.
And, not until you're there in the last 2 years, they were 12-52, and to do what a remarkable one. I think they tied like 3 other teams as far as like a turnaround in the ACC, the history of the ACC, plus 17.
Wow.
I believe it is.
Well, yeah, I mean, they got to just come together and prove the tournament planners wrong, get a few wins, and see what happens. We wish them luck.
Wait to see what they do. Unfortunately, I can't watch them against Creighton because I'll be working. But if they beat Creighton, then they match up with Auburn on Saturday, but I don't know what time that would be.
Yeah. All right, well, listen, Carl, we're beyond the limit, so thank you so much for reaching out. It's so great to hear your voice.
Yeah, it's good to be back, but, I had to throw that in there. I'm kind of disappointed because, I was hoping that Louisville would get at least to the Sweet 16. I thought they had a pretty good, clear path, but now it's like, they could hit a roadblock against Auburn, which is kind of disappointing. I hate to see the season go out like that with a loss to Auburn.
Well, who knows? Like you said, Auburn's beatable. So
That's what my best friend said, too.
Yeah.
He's very good with basketball. He said, and along the way there's going to be some upsets, and he's picking that as an upset. The Louisville to beat Auburn. You know that too, Corey. There are some upsets there in the beginning.
Yep, every year there's upsets there. Yep.
March Madness, that's why they call it that.
What's that there?
Are you familiar with Creighton at all?
Yeah, I've been watching the big
Kalkbrenner.
the Big East throughout the season.
Coach McDermott.
Get off here. What do you think that Creighton has over Louisville?
I think
Big man.
Their size. I think they're able to get into the paint there. I think, like I said, I think it's going to be a back and forth with them in Louisville there. But I think at the end of the day, I think they have enough shooters that can get the points and the lead there.
Louisville's a 2.5 favorite.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's going to go back and forth there.
Well, we'll see. One way to find out. Tune in.
Louisville, and I think that Louisville is one of the teams that take the most threes, and they got Rene Smith, the Australian, and he can be deadly when he's on. So that's a big plus getting him back.
Sounds good. All right, Carl, we got to run. Thank you so much.
All right, good talking to you guys.
A pleasure. Yes, sir. Thank you. Well, Corey, any final thoughts?
One final thought out there is today's my brother's birthday, so shout out to
sing
my
to him?
brother. I think we're past the time there, so
You're off the hook. What's your
my
brother's
brother,
name?
Cody Smith is his
Cody
birthday
Smith.
there,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. CODY?
Yep.
All right, well, listen, Sean's here running the show. Thank you, Sean, and thank you at home for tuning in. Stay tuned for trivia in just a short while. Good night, everybody. Mahalo.
Smile, a girl with sunburned cheeks, the one who always wandered off, the one you couldn't teach. So don't forget your memories you made when you were young, the ones that always get